Hello everybody, happy Sunday. I do hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm hoping you're going to join us throughout the whole of today. We are Crafters TV and we've got so many deals for you, so many techniques, lots of fantastic demos, and it's absolutely jam-packed full of inspiration today. We have been celebrating, it is Dress Up Your Pet Day. So if you have any pictures of your gorgeous pooches or kittens or ferrets or even gerbils that you like to dress up, do send them in to us because we like to see what they are. We have had 2 gerbils already, but maybe gerbils dressing up is a thing, I don't know. Quite clearly, a lot of you have managed to find animals that don't mind being dressed up. So we are looking out for a few more. So if you didn't watch the earlier show, do watch that back later and you will see some gorgeous little dogs dressed up and cats as well. I'm Becky Sworn. I'm going to be here for the whole of today, and I have the wonderful Debbie Fisher with me. Hello Debbie, how are you?
I'm really well, Becky. I love a Colour Me Happy. It's the time where we can really get to grips with our colouring system, and we haven't done Classiques for such a long time, and I love them. And actually, I feel like I've fallen back in love with them, right? Because I mean, and I always say, and this is why they say we shouldn't have a favourite, because at the end of the day, we want you to buy them, and we want you to buy everything, but you can't buy everything, so you have to sort of pick things that you like, and there's no bones about it. We love our tri-blend pens because they're an easy pen system. There's 3 pens in one, but I actually forgot how good Classiques were because I use my tri-blend so much. So I'm so thrilled that I get to show you for the next 2 hours everything that Classiques can do, because they are a remarkable pen and a remarkable pen system. And bearing in mind as well, they're the first pen system that we had in place, and they're still going. Yeah. And that gives I mean, that's good clarity, isn't it? That they are a good alcohol marker. And I can't wait to show you some of the techniques. Hopefully some techniques you might have not seen before, but we're going to go through all the different things that we can do and show you just how to get to grips with your Classiques. So if you haven't got them, we've got some great offers as well.
Fantastic, that's brilliant. I'm going to say a few hellos. I've got Jamie Ennis saying, Colour Me Happy is my favourite show ever.
Oh,
great.
That's nice.
It's good for you today. Kim says, hi everybody. Crafty Anne, she says good morning from California. Pat is here saying good morning from New Jersey. And Deborah is here, so good morning from Defiance, Ohio. I'm looking forward to seeing this. This is the good thing about, the best thing I think about Crafters TV, the fact that we are live and interactive. That gives you the opportunity, if Debbie's showing a technique and perhaps you've missed some of it, or you've got a question, do message in, let us know what the question is, and it will be passed through. So it really is good for anybody that's sort of starting and watching and perhaps hasn't, you know, let's be honest, there's a lot of pens, and unless you've got a completely unlimited supply on your credit card, you can't buy them all in one go. You just can't. And so it's really good opportunity today to find out what the Classiques mean, how they work, and whether, you know, they're the thing for you to start working with. Perhaps you've managed to get 1 or 2 in some of the big goodie bags that we've done over the last few months, and you've picked up 1 or 2 and you're thinking, oh, actually, I don't know, do I need this? This is your opportunity to message in and ask Debbie some questions, and also see the deals that we've got. Now, we have created something just for you if you want to get started with your Classiques, and this is our starter kit, which is just here. In here, you're going to be getting some of our Nina cardstock. We talk about the cardstock. Nina is the one we often talk about. You're also going to get 2 sets of 12 pens in here, so you can just see them down the front. All those different colorways are up at the top, and they are all Classiques. You're also going to be getting one of the Sheena Douglas's Mother Earth stamp sets, and you'll also be getting the little gnome house stamp and die set, or as a caravan, to show you in better, well, they're £35, $50 for that whole bundle. Platinum prices and crazy price, £28 or $40. That's amazing deals. That's 40% saving, something like that. Yeah, 40%. Just call me Carol Vorderman, Corinne Robinson, Becky Sworn. I'd already written it down. I know, I sounded quite big. Yeah, I had it written down, highlighted in red, giving all the deals away. But I do want to show you these stamps and the stamp and die set that you've got in here, because you probably can't see them very well on that shot that we've got here. Now, you can see the stamps, you can see the wealth of detail that you're going to be getting in that. Absolutely key and ideal for you to practice some of your colouring. And then this one, totally different kind of vibe to it, but this is the Gnome Caravan stamp and die set. And look at that there. I mean, I bought this because it was absolutely gorgeous. I wanted it just because it looked gorgeous. You know, totally different kind of feel to that versus that, but both really great for your techniques that you're going to be doing. And at that price, why wouldn't you want those opportunities to go for? The next item I'm going to show you is the big bundle of pens. They're over here. Ooh, so many. So each of these are a pack of 6. We're going to go through them with sort of more detail, but the first one here is your shade and tone. This is your shade and tone. Yeah, shade and tone. I think I'm reading it in the wrong place. The colours are up at the top here, so you can actually see all those different colours. Now, this is great. If you're, you know, you were undecided before, well, you watched today's show and you were like, right, I need all of these, and you're getting a whole load of colours in here. This next one is your purples, with all those different shades moving from those real majestic royal purple through to the lilac. We then have your blues. We've got browns. All different colours, different tones of browns in there. You've got your greens, moving from almost sort of sage khaki green through to a bright grass green. We've got dark skin. We've also got pinks. This just keeps going on and on, actually. There's loads in here. Yellow. And look at those, and all those different shades, that sort of buttercup kind of yellow through to your orange colours and bright yellows. We've got greys and through to the sort of bluey grey colours. And then finally we've got turquoise here. So all of these pens, let's look. Look how many you're going to get in there. £60 or $85. Platinum price is £48 or $68. You've got over a 30% saving on this. And these are absolutely brilliant, aren't they? Brilliant deal. And you want a whole mixture of different colours, don't you, if you're getting started with the Classiques?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's start right from the beginning with this pack. So just any of the packs, because every pack works in the same way. So if we can look down onto this pack, please, James. What you can see is you've got 6 colours. Now, this is where our tri-blends come from, because we always say we like to do a 3-colour blend. Now, what we've done for you in every single pack, so whether it be your purples, whether it be your blues, whether it be greens, any of these colours have 3 colours and 3 colours. And I'm doing that rather than 6 colours, because each one of these packs has a warm and cool colour mix. So that's what's made them really clever. So if we look on this one, so if we take the purples straight away, we can see here that we've got our warm tones, and then we've got 3 of our cool tones. So when we blend, it's where our 3-colour blend system come from. When we blend them, it means that these colours are going to blend effortlessly together. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't start with these and add some of these colours in to get that shade in and that depth with them, but for beginners, this is how we did it. So that's your 3 colours that's going to blend together, that's your 3 colours that are going to blend together. Now, if you keep to that colouring system with your pens, you will get effortless blending every single time. Now, the great thing about these is they are ergonomical in the hand, so they're really nice to hold. So it means when you're doing a long length of colouring, they're going to feel really nice in the hand. It also means they're not going to roll anywhere off at the side if you're on a lap tray, so that makes them so much better. I love the fact that we're giving you the warm and the cool tones, and we're putting them in this pack. Now, the actual pen itself, you can see, has 2 nibs. We've put this grey marker round, so you can see all round this one, but not round this one. That's so when you're doing this colouring and you want to be quick with your alcohol markers, you know that the one with the grey tab is always your bullet marker, so right, your bullet nib. So that's the one, that's your hard bullet nib that you've got on there. On the other side, you've got your chisel nib. So that's your chisel nib, which is going to allow you to lay down a vast amount in one go. So if you're using your pen and you just want a lot of colouring, you can literally put that down and colour quite a lot of space in one go, okay? So that's your 2 nibs that you're getting on there, and that makes it easy accessible. So if let's just say we're going to take, let me see, let's take these, yeah, we'll take the 3.
May I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
So whilst you're saying in the pack, the ones on the left are
warm tones.
Warm tones.
Yeah.
How would you know if you've taken them out of the pack and you just had them in a display, how could you tell?
So you could go back to, so you could keep this as a reference.
Yep.
If you turn it on the back, can you see you've got your colour codes?
Right.
So you could see them in there.
Yep.
But what you'll notice is you'll get used to those colour tones
Okay.
as you get used to colouring.
Yep.
So what we do now is like we could ease, and this is where I was saying, so because can you see the different tones of purples? These
Yep.
are more pinky purples on the top, which give them that warm tone because they've got an undertone of pink.
Yep.
These are your purples, which are your cooler tones because they've got more just that purple colour in.
Yep.
So, and you'll notice same with blues. So if I bring the blues in, you can see that we've got colder colours because we're adding a different colour tone into the bottom ones. We've got your natural blues into the top ones, which make them more warmer colours. So we've tried to do that for you. So great question, but you don't have to worry too much about it. So when we first started this system, we knew, so everybody tried it out. I say everybody, the makers of our pens tried them out. They know that our TB1, which is our true blue, our 1, 4 and 7 are going to blend beautifully together.
Okay.
Now, we do other pens in the system, which could possibly come in the packs that you've got in front of you, Becky.
Yep.
That will fill the gaps.
Right.
So you can have that graduation. So in a tri-blend pen, you might find that you might want to blend 1, 2 and 3, which will blend beautifully, but you won't get a very vivid colour change. So with these ones, what we've done is made that system where we know the exact colours that are going to blend really well for you. And that's why the Classiques have their own ability to be able to be something very special. It just means you have to take your time to blend those colours in and make sure you're using the correct colour system. What I'd also recommend when you're using Classiques is to do yourself a colour chart.
Okay.
So that way you know your colours that are going to blend well together. You might decide to add a totally different colour in from another pack and add that in. Do another colour chart for that and keep those colour charts because it really does work and it's a great system to have. So what I do, I'm going to use, so let's start with that colour system, doing our 3 colour blend. Now I've just used a butterfly stamp and die. This was just one of our Sheena's bold butterflies that she brought out just before Christmas, I think. So we'll use our purples and we'll also use our blues. So let's use 2 of those colours. So bringing them in, I'm going to use the more sort of aqua blues. And you can see here, so that's given me my IB1, my IB2 and IB3. So I've got my 3 colour system in that one. With my purples, I've got a 2, 3 and a 4. So we're going up in colours there. So they may not all go in the colourways that you would expect, but we know that they've been done, the hard work's been done for you. And what I would always say is go in that order. So you want to go with your 2, you want to go with your 3, and your 4 is your darkest colour, so you want to go with that darkest colour.
Okay.
So it's a little bit like our tri-blends. Each one of these colours would be in one pen. And the difference with Classique is if you love your colouring, the reason you would have these and not your tri-blends, these are going to last you a lot longer.
Okay.
You've got a full pen with that colouring, where
Yes,
a tri-blend you would only have, that colour would be split into 3 pens.
Yeah.
So although your tri-blends are brilliant, they're the things that I would say would to get after you've got your Classiques.
Okay.
Because they're the ones that are going to blend. So let's start off with that lightest colour. So we've got our 2, 3 and 4. And we're just going to start off by colouring into our butterfly. So let's start off inside. I'm going to start off with that lightest colour. And we're literally just going to come round and bring that colour just into here. And then I'm going to come in then with my next colour. I'm not even worrying about putting my lid on that one. So then we're going to come in with our second colour, which is our mid colour. And we're just going to blend that one into the lightest shade. And then our darkest colour, which is going to be on those ends. And I'm not worrying at the moment that I'm not blending effortlessly into those colours. I just want that lay down of colour just to blend those colours into it. And then once I've done that, we're going to do the opposite. So we're then going to go in with our mid colour and then go back over just where we've coloured and come into there. And then you can see we're really starting to blend those colours in now. And then we can come in with our lightest colour. And then that's going to blend into that bottom piece.
Okay.
And you can see already we're getting that effortless blending that's going through there, that ombre effect. Now I wanted to use a different colour. Let's go with our blues. So we've got our IB, that's 3, 2 and 1. And I'm just going to switch over sides because I like to colour using from the left-hand side. Let's come in with our blues and go onto this bit here. So again, starting with that lightest colour. Now they say to sort of start with a smaller area, but this I think is still quite a small area going into a few different ones. And then we can start with that 2 coming in. And at the moment you can see I'm not doing any flicking technique. In fact, my colouring technique is circular motions. So I'm sort of making that sort of little circular motions as I go round. And then we're going to go in with our IB3, which is our darkest colour. And all I'm doing is slightly overlapping where we've put that first colour. And that's all the time while I'm talking and colouring. What that's doing is that's evaporating into that next colour and blending those colours together. And I always, it is something I like to do, I always go over it twice. So I always go forwards and then backwards in my colour. So this is like my darkest colour. I then go back to my mid colour. So our number 2, and then we start to blend that one in. So again, just where those colours are touching. And that really does allow then that wet ink to really evaporate and blend well into each other. And at that stage, Becky, what I would then do is leave it and let it settle. I wouldn't add any more ink.
Okay.
Because what that's doing, it's saturating our card, but not to an extent where we can't blend more into it. And what I mean by saturate, if I turn this over now, so you'll see it's just started to sort of come through my cardstock. So I've not saturated the card, but here I can see, actually, I think this could be blended much better. So I can then go back, now I know that's dry, I can then go back into that. So starting with that lightest ink, we can start going into that one just to blend that out a bit better. And then we can go into our next one, which is our number 3. And really start to blend that one in. And you can see it's really starting to evaporate into that ink there. And then our last one, which is our PV4, into this one here. But I would always let that dry, because what will happen, the bleeding will start to go over the edges of your image.
Because
and
there's too
that's
much
what you
ink there.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the moment, all that's doing is blending. And in fact, I'm just going to blend that a little bit more into there. Just so it blends, there we go. And that's really now, can you see, now we've got that ombre effect that's going through there that looks beautiful. This is starting to look lovely. And then when you've applied that all over, this is the look that you're gonna get.
Ooh,
so
lovely.
You've got that light shading in the middle, coming out to the darker edges. We've done the same with the blue. And then what you can then do, Becky, is take that into things such as your alphabet dies. So we had, alphabet dies. We had these on the show. And it means that you can actually use your, all your die cuts, you can now start colouring with that same ombre effect. So if we was to take that blue, we take that first one, let's go from the top and using our chisel nib, I can then go in with my marker, lay down quite a bit of colour there. And then we can go into our number 2. And again, the chisel nib. So I then start to blend in the darker colour. And then we can do it over this side. So, and this way, you're not really wasting a lot of ink, because what you could do is lay down a lot of ink on your cardstock, and then you could die cut it out. But actually what you don't want to do is waste all that ink. So by doing it this way, you're actually getting that ombre effect, ombre effect, should I say, and but you're getting it by laying it down exactly where you need it. And then we can go into this one.
We've got a few questions that have been coming in.
Yes, absolutely.
So
well, I'm going to be putting my card together now. So
Okay.
What we'll do, you can ask me those questions as I'm putting that together.
Fantastic.
So once we've done that one, Becky, I've then done that again in the eye as well.
Nice.
And then we're just going to put a little card together.
I love those dies.
These are our new alphabet dies
I
that come
really
out
like those.
just this week. And I thought, actually, they'll be perfect to use with these. So I've used just some of my nesting dies. I've just got some plain cardstock for the background. I'm going to keep it nice and simple, but we're just going to layer up this card, just so we've got a finished sample for the end of the show.
Okay. So the first question I've got is from Hannah Gosling-Smith, and she was asking, she'd like to try and craft along a little bit. Could you give her a bit of a heads up on the kind of stamps you're going to be using?
Oh, okay, yes, perfect. I absolutely can. So I'm going to be using the, on my next demo, it's going to be the Ethelred lady out of Mother Earth.
Okay.
So the Sheena.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can find, yep, I can find the stamp. It's going to be this stamp here. So we're going to be using, that's the ethereal woman. Ethereal. I always say ethereal. Ethereal.
She does look like an Ethel.
An ethereal woman.
Lovely.
Yes. Ethereal.
And Jamie asks, how many pens are there altogether?
So altogether, there's 216 pens.
Wow.
Yes, 216. So your 6-pen set, there are 12 sets of these in total.
Yep.
I think we've only got 10 on the show of these ones, but there are 10 sets in total. And then there's 6 sets of 12 markers.
Right.
And we've got 2 of them that are on the show today. So
okay.
yeah, we do lots individuals as well. I think we still sell individual pens. We used to sell the individual pens. Nicola's going to have a look for us on those ones, because I know we used to do the individual pens, because it's like anything, you tend to sort of stick to the same sort of colours sometimes, so you'll end up sort of running out more of them. But I think you can buy them. So there's a lot of pens, but the main systems for both pens are, there's 72 lots of pens in those systems. So,
okay.
So that's just putting my background on there, and then all I'm going to do is apply these ones.
The other question I've got is, when would you use the Classiques rather than tri-blends or illustrators?
Why would you?
Yeah, when would you?
Where would you? So the Classiques, what I would say, are the ones you start with to learn the system.
Yeah.
Although now we've brought in the tri-blends, I would say they are your beginner pens. So once you've learnt that tri-blend system, you can then go on to using the Classiques, which have that same system, but you get more ink in your pens.
Right.
And you get different nibs on them as well. So you've got your chisel nib end on your Classiques and your other nib, your bullet nib on there. So there's differences in all of them, but they are all alcohol pens.
Yeah.
Right, let me just grab some foam pads. I can never say that word. Whenever I go to say foam pads, it seems like I just can't say the word. Yeah, I think, what am I trying to say?
I think what it is you really want to sing the song. And you're just stopping yourself.
Oh dear, no. So we've got a H and we've got an I, so we've just got our high, and then we're just literally going to put our butterfly on there as well. So we're just going to keep it very sort of simple. But and all the makes are going to be quite simple, but I just wanted, because we don't normally, when we have a colouring show, we don't normally do a finished card, and I just thought it'd be really nice to have some finished samples. The other stamp that I'm going to be using is from the Natural Beauty Hannah, and that one is, I don't know I can find it, is this one here. It's the Tumbling Waves and Florals.
Oh, lovely.
So that's the other one we're going to be using. So it's nice someone's crafting along.
Yeah, I think Hannah's actually said she's got out her Academy of Colour, and she's stamped the images from there, so she can try out all the different techniques that you're doing.
Yeah, and actually it's a good point, because they will all work in the same way. So it doesn't matter that you... so let's overlap those. It doesn't matter that you're using different stamps. The techniques are all the same. What I am also going to be using, I'm going to show you how we can create our alcohol pens into paints. So if you've got some isopropanol, we're going to be using that as well.
Where would you get that from?
You can buy it anywhere, to be honest, or online.
Right.
So yeah, it's we normally use it quite a bit for our re-inkers.
Oh, okay.
So but yes, so you can buy it from that big online marketplace.
Yep.
It begins with a capital A. Yeah, we're probably allowed to say it. I mean, we're not sort of monitored, are we? So yeah, it's Amazon. Yeah, and you can. I bought a really big jar from there, which was fabulous. So, and all I did was decant that into a little spritzer, one of our spritzers.
Okay.
So we're literally just going to pop that up there, and then just to finish that, because we've got quite a plain card going on, I'm going to use the same pens, but we're just going to do a little technique by sort of dotting round wherever you want it, just to sort of not have such a plain background.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do many, but it really adds to your sort of your background and your make. Just looks a little bit more interesting, and you can do as many or as little as you want. We're just going to then add our purples in so it'll all tone in, and then you can just literally pop them wherever, and it's just a nice simple way. You could use gems, you could use, but I thought as we've got our pens, we might as well use our pens. There we go. So that's just our first card. So that's, look at that. I've made an upside down card.
Never mind.
It's okay because I'll just cut it off and put it onto another card blank.
That's beautiful.
There we go. There's
Really
our
like
card.
that. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, and it just shows, it's really nice because it shows that ombre effect in your die cuts and in your butterfly as well. So that's your simplistic way of looking at your pens. We're next going to be covering our skin tones, darker skin tones as well. And I can't wait for that one.
Fantastic. Oh, I really like that. Rosalind said, that's a pretty butterfly, even though I don't like bugs. Pat has asked if you could show us how to change the nibs.
Oh yes, absolutely.
As well.
Let's just do that now.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can, if we still have the nibs that are changeable. Oh, I never knew that. That's exciting. If I'd known that, I would have made sure we did a demo on that, but we'll do it anyway because it's very simple. Now, what I would say, I haven't got any with me, but do you know the little plastic zippy lock bags that you can get? I mean, they're really cheap. You can get them like 100 for £1. The little small ones. What I would say is when you're changing your nibs, put that nib in a zippy lock bag, because if it dries out and you want to change it back, it's not going to work very well. You don't want it to dry. And I will show you that later when I'm colour some ribbon, because when you colour ribbon and it dries rock hard. It's really weird, yeah, because it's alcohol. I don't know why, but it makes, and I'll show you. I've got one that I've already done that's hard, and I've got one that when you colour it, it's still soft. But once it dries hard. So when your nib dries, it will dry hard, and it's really hard to get that back to a nice soft nib. So what I would say is when you're changing them, use a zippy lock bag to put that in, and maybe just a little drop of maybe sort of some isopropanol, something like that that's going to keep it moist. And also use something, because obviously your alcohol pens are going to stain your fingers, so either use a cloth or a tissue or something, or even a zippy lock bag to take it out with. And all you're going to do is literally, you can only do it through your, the best way to change them is to change them through your chisel nib, and you're just going to take that chisel nib and pull it out like that. Simple as that. And if you do have any alcohol, I'm not sure if we've got, I don't think we've got any in stock, but if you want to refill it, you just put your pipette, and you put a pipette, you put 3 pipettes in there. And literally squeeze your alcohol link into there, and then all you do to put it back, you literally push that back in, and you've got your nib back in.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
It's as simple as that. Yeah, really simple, but you can see, I mean, I've used like 4 applies there, and it hasn't gone right through, so my fingers aren't mucky, but it will dye your fingers, so just be careful when you're changing them. But that's all you do, you pull them in and out. It doesn't damage the nibs, but you just want to keep them moist. That's the only thing with them. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. That's great to know. I'd sometimes, you know, you used to be able to get those, not from here, but you used to be able to get those like metallic markers. You got them in gold and silver. And when the nib used to wear out, you used to be able to pull the nib off and then turn it around the other way. So it's like a double-ended nib. It was quite handy. So these are the set of the Classique markers. So we've got 10 bundles of 6 in total. If I flip through them very quickly, shade and tone is the first one. We've then got purple, we've got blues, we have got browns, we've got turquoises, and then we have greens, dark skin, pinks, yellows, and of course the final one is the greys. The price for all of these is £60 or $85. Platinum price is £48 or $68. And the platinum price saving was, well, it was basically if you're platinum, they're 80 pence per pen. Wow,
amazing.
that is really good deal. And as Debbie was explaining, you know, you've got those two different sort of warm and cool kind of shades in there. But of course, we have those as well as the main deal that I've got here, where you've got like a bit of a starter kit here as well. Lots of people are loving the card. Audrey says, love the card, Debbie. Rhonda says, beautiful card. Stephanie says, pretty colours and pretty card. Helen says, pens are really good value. They really are. And Hannah says, that card was super simple but gorgeous. It's given me ideas to create some clean and simple cards.
Yes, I hope the whole show will be like that, because they're all quite clean and simple, and I think alcohol colouring should really show off your masterpieces.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how they should be.
Oh, looking forward to this. Everyone loves a Colour Me Happy show. We are going to go for a quick break. We'll give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, and we will see you in a couple of moments.
Many of our viewers bring up time and time again, and that's our wax seal gate. Thinking, Joe, it might not work as well because I've put too much. Oh, I've forgotten to put me thing in place.
Because I have a way of words that I think that doesn't engage with that and can come out all wrong. Water.
That wasn't the one you just washed your brush in, was it?
Sorry. Yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Are you kidding?
I'm going to have to say, it's a slip of the tongue. I'm going to say it's maybe to do with my Scottish accent. I'm maybe going to say it's because of Mr. Ben Mosby. He is, well, yeah, he doesn't help matters.
Fame on a roll, fame on a roll, fame on a roll, fame on a roll, fame on a roll. Hey!
I've made pots that have exploded when I fired them. I've done zips in inside out. It happens to everybody.
We've all spilt our glitter all over our project or knocked the water over.
You're right.
I've just noticed I've got my dress on inside out.
So I was messing about doing some backgrounds with the sparkling, took the lid off it and managed to catch the pot somehow, and the whole thing came towards me, down my front, across my lap, onto the floor.
I went to reach for the water and, you know, do the tapping with the and so there was less tapping and more sort of a tsunami.
I've got some.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really, they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows. Some other customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. Love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Stephanie said, I made a card and the fold of the paper where I'd scored it tore, showing a white core. It was very thick from layers and I used a Classique pen in the matching colour and covered it up. Card absolutely saves. Just goes to show, yeah. Good to know.
Good. They have lots of good things that you can do with them. I actually drew onto a chip that I had in my worktop counter in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I just used a dark marker to cover it up on the wood, and that worked as well. I've done it on my table as well with a dark brown. I had a little tiny chip out of it, and I just coloured it in dark brown so you couldn't see.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it when you can use things in different ways.
Yeah, they are very good. My mum used to colour her pearl earrings in with them.
And you can use them for colouring in zips.
Yes, you can.
So if you buy some of our white zip on a roll and you want it a different colour, you can use it for that.
Yeah, you can use that on the fabric, and you can colour fabric with them as well. So it doesn't make them colour fast, but it does. The colour will stay in them, but it just won't. It'll fade.
Yeah.
So when you wash them, but there's lots of things. I know people that have done designs on their trainers with them. You just have to be careful because as soon as it touches like canvas or anything like that, it spreads.
Yeah.
So you literally dot it on. So you wait for it to spread, and then just so you don't do it right near the edges. But there is a way of doing it. Yeah, they're amazing pens.
Interesting. Yeah, I like the idea of doing different things. Another item we have on the show today is the Mother Earth collection. So this has stamps, but also has some pens in there as well. To show you the type of pens, you're going to be getting 9 pens. These are tri-blends, or tricolour aquas rather. 27 different colours that you've got here. You can see all of these. They're very, very vivid, these pens, and they are going to work perfectly with the stamps that we have. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one here, which has the sort of the globe with hands around it, and you've got sentiments on there as well, and some little flowers. So you can obviously see from these images how those pens are going to work. This next one is the same one you're going to get in the main deal that we've got just next to me. So you've got the girl with the butterfly in her hair and some flowers as well as those sentiments. This next one here, different kind of imagery, but different types of women, females with all these different flowers that you can colour. This next one, did you say this one was the ethereal woman? Here, that is absolutely beautiful. Do you know what? Not ethereal, no. I've got a friend who has a swimming hat that looks exactly like that. And then
I used to have one like that when I was little, a flowery swimming hat.
Yeah, no, she goes. She does open water swimming, and they all have these crazy hats. It's a good way of identifying who people are as well in the water. And then this final one here. Now I can't tell you what they're all called because they're not written on the back, but I will work out what they are and write them on the back later. So you're going to be getting all of these stamps. So you've got 5 here, as well as these colours here, these tricolour aquas. The price for this is £52 or $67. The platinum price is £41.60 or $53.60. These are beautiful stamps, aren't they, Debbie?
Oh, I love them. I just love them. I have to say, this is my absolute favourite stamp, the Ethereal Woman. She is just gorgeous. I love that hair. You could do. I'm going to use it twice in the demos across because I want to use it with the. I know it's about Classiques, but I do want to use it with the aqua markers that are coming in as well because they are in a league of their own as well. But we'll do that later on. But what I want to show you also is how you can create a background. So I've already stamped the lady out. So if I bring her in, you can see she's an absolutely beautiful stamp. Stamps amazingly. These are photopolymer stamps, so they're really, really good quality stamps. But what I want to do is create a background for her. So what I've done is I've created a little topper. I think I've cut this. Oh no, I did use this 4 inches. So I've done this 4 by 4 inch square. Stamped this out. I've stamped it onto our Nina cardstock, and then I've done a 5. I think I've done this 5.5 inch and a 5.5 inch because I want to create a background. So what I'm going to do is bring in my stamping platform, not my stamping platform, my stamping pad, because I want to do some quick stamping and I want to stamp over the edge as well. So all we're going to do is take, because we've got extra stamps in here, we've got this flower stamp. So I'm going to take this one, and we've also got some word stamps as well. So you can take your word stamps, and we're just going to create a bit of just a nice funky background. So first of all, let's put in, we've got respect here. Love the words that we've got on here. We've got the respect, we've got hello, calm. can't remember what the other one was, strength, and then we've got the love as well. So first of all, we're just going to ink that up. All I'm going to do, in fact, I want to get a black ink pad. So we've got our Nor black, and I am using alcohol markers, but I'm not colouring in the background. So actually, it doesn't matter what ink pad you use for the background. So I am just going to use the Nor black though. And literally, so, oh, it doesn't seem that juicy, but it's fine. But I've got a finished one. I just wanted to show you how you can sort of get a really cool background just by some quick stamping. So we're literally just going to stamp around the edges. You can put this wherever you want. So let's just pop that up there. And bearing in mind all the time that you're not going to need this in the middle, because when you put this over the top, you're only going to see certain parts of it.
Nice.
So once we've done that, let's take that one away. We're then going to, let's place our flowers on. And we're literally just going to go over. So making sure we've got that. And you can put these literally anywhere. So it's just a case of going round, putting and it's about sort of filling the gaps more than anything else. And you're just going to continue to build that up. So
I love when you
them.
make backgrounds with stamps.
Yeah, they're really cool, aren't they? And then the other thing you can then do is just use another word. So we did have love. It was there. It's disappeared. Oh, there it is. Look, it's stuck on there. And then we've got the word love, and then you can just sort of put that in wherever you want as well. So we could have that in there, and it's just a case of building it up. So I'm not going to spend too much on there because I want you to just see the actual woman being coloured in, but I wanted you to know how to do it more than anything else. So let's just pop our stamps back onto here so I don't lose them, and then we will let's just pop the respect back. There we go. And then we've got our lady. So if I show you my finished one, how I built this one up, so you can see just building that up. We've got our complete background, exactly how we did that one. And we're just gonna, that one will go in the centre there. But then when you bring some black cardstock on top, so we're just gonna mount that onto black cardstock. So she's gonna be in the middle of that. So we're really framing it. So we'll pop that to the side. And then let's do some colouring in. So let me bring in a piece of card to colour onto. Take that one away. And then this is done really easy for us because we've actually bought out a pen pack which is for dark skin. And it's done for you. The first three colours are going to blend effortlessly together. The second three colours are going to blend together. So you don't have to worry about which ones that you're going to use. So you just decide which ones you're going to use. I'm going to use the lightest colours, so of the two colours. And we've got our RB1, RB2 and RB3, which means they're red browns.
Right.
So red brown colours. So first of all, what we're going to do is lay down the most amount of our lowest our lowest colour, our lowest number. So number one. So the lowest in the number means the more alcohol. The lighter the colour, the more alcohol content.
Okay.
And that means that that's the more alcohol, the more blending. So that's why your lightest colour bleaches out your darker colour.
Right.
Because it has more alcohol in there. So I always start with my lightest colour, and we're literally going to go, and don't be frightened at all. We're just literally going to go right over the centre of her face. So just using that pen to go right to the centre. And what I would say is practice this. So if you want to, just stamp out a little, just the face itself, and then just have a practice. Then we've got 3 and 2, so let's go with our number 2. So what I'm going to do with the number 2, we're going to go where I think we'll have some darker shading. So no sort of round her eyes. She's going to sort of come in with her cheeks here. She's going to be darker. I'm still not going right up to the edges because that's where our even darker shading is going to go. I'm going to slightly come around her nose. We're sort of going to do a line up because that's shaping her nose, and her lips as well are going to be slightly darker around. Now when you're doing this, you're going to be thinking, oh, this looks awful. It's not how I wanted it to look. It just doesn't look right. Please give it time. That's it. It's really important to give it time for the ink to evaporate and to really start to get to grips with how your image is coming along. And then we're going to take our third colour, so that's our RB3, and then we're going to go into all the places where we know that darkness is going to go. So I know she'll have some just under her eyes, she'll have that little bit more dark because she's got her eyes closed, around her hairline, wherever those flowers are going to be, that's going to be darker. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, sort of put that line in where her eyes are going to be, because that's going to be darker. And it's about following the contours of her face, but it's also about just practicing where you know that light and darker shading is going to go. I know down here, down the bridge of her nose is going to be darker, under her nose, around the crevices, and then we know that she's going to have some darkness around her lips.
That's looking amazing already. You've just been...
See, I don't think it's looking amazing because I think it's...
it's only be a couple of minutes and, you know, you can see it coming together.
Yeah, and it really does. And you do have to trust the process because alcohol markers really do work. You just have to have a little bit of practice and a little bit of faith and realise that it just takes a little bit of time to practice. So we're just going to come in with her jawline. Going to be a little bit more dark round there, and then I can start filling those gaps back in. So I'm going to come back in with my number 2, and then we can start. Now I'm not going to go fully over, I just want to start blending that in there to the edge, blending your colour into that next colour. So just coming up and just giving that contour, having all that blending. Coming round, I'll have more around her facial features. And remember, if you don't like it, you just let it dry and then you can go back over it. And then all we're going to do then is come in with that lightest colour, and we can really then start to see that blending coming together. And you can see how light it is now to my lightest one that's now, because it's still light, but because it's evaporated, it's gone very light. So once it evaporates, it really starts to blend really well. So we're just going to come in there, a little bit round here, like so. Now let's bring in some reds. So I've got some really nice reds here. They've got some lovely reds in the pack that we've got with you, Becky, really lovely reds. And I'm just going to slightly put a little bit of rouge around her cheeks here. And then we're going to come back in with that lightest colour again and just go over the edges of that rouge. And that's going to really blend that in with her colour of her skin. And then let's come in with some on her lips. Some really nice, bright, vibrant colours. And all the time, we're just allowing this all to evaporate, so that's starting to sort of really blend in together. And you'll notice the bits that you think, well, actually, I don't really like that blended in, so I can do a bit extra, but let that dry. Don't try and rework that. And all I'm going to do is put a little bit of red, but we're leaving quite a bit of, we want some light and shade in her lips there. Blend that one in. And then with the, well, we haven't done her neck, we better do her neck, better we? So again, coming in, let's show you exactly how we did that one. So coming in with that lighter shade, doing exactly the same again. And if you just wanted, Becky, a solid colour, you would just continue to colour over the same piece.
Yep.
Because what would happen then is you get what you call a saturation of your paper, where it wouldn't take any more ink.
Right.
And it means you get what we call a smooth blend. You get no lines, and you get that perfectly smooth blend. And then all I'm going to do is come in with that darker colour and just, again, come in under her chin. So under that jawline. And it's just a case of letting it all evaporate. I mean, she's looking fabulous, isn't she? So just coming in there. And then again, blending that out with your lightest colour. And then you would just rework where you want to. So I can see round here, so we go back in with that sort of darkest, just around, blending that out. I'm just making sure where I can see what I don't think it's blended as well as what I'd like it to do. I just want to go round those pieces. And see here around her jawline. But I've let that dry, being able to go in with the, and know that we've let it all dry. It's helping then to blend that all, letting that dry and then being able to come back in to blend that out.
I suppose you can truly see how the colour is. It's a little bit like painting a wall, isn't it? You don't really know how it looks until the very end.
Until it's fully dry, yeah, absolutely. So you can see I'm liking that's blending much better in there. So you continue to do that. What I did to practice my colours, if I bring this one in, I just stamped this piece here because I wanted to see that I could, what I wanted to do with the colours. Because see, adding depth and dimension, and then if you colour her hair, that's what you get then with her fully coloured in. So she is an absolutely beautiful stamp. I mean, honestly, just absolutely lovely. But what I would say is practice those stages. You don't need to do the full stamp, just practice on a small piece of it. Go in with extra, try with the other 3 colours as well because you'll get a different colour variation with those. And then we've got her fully coloured in here.
That's beautiful.
Now, I was saying about ribbon earlier, so let's just bring this one back in. And let's just bring in a nice dark red. So with ribbon, it takes to ribbon really quickly. You can colour, so with a bow, can you see, look how beautiful that takes to the ribbon straight away. So you can colour your whole ribbon in, and if you turn it the opposite way and colour, because it will just seep through, you'll get your whole ribbon saturated. So you can pop that in. Now, I'm not going to colour it all in because I have one that I've already done, and you literally colour your whole ribbon. So I've done one here which I've done fully, but this is, it's quite stiff now. It's a very stiff ribbon because I don't know why, but can you see, look, it goes really, it's very stiff. But it's good because it means that your colour is permanent on there. So you've coloured your entire ribbon. I mean, you can see there's still a little bit of white patches inside.
Does it soften up?
No, it doesn't. It just stays quite. It's almost like it's been starched.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it feels like it's been starched. Where this one's now, can you see? Look, that's really pliable there. Yeah. And this, look, it's not.
So you definitely should make up your bow first before you colour it, rather than...
Yes, that's exactly. So I always make up a bow, always do that. And then when you come to the middle section, all you want to do is to hold that down on it, and it will just soak through. And that's all you do to get that colour into your bow. And once it's all soaked through, this is what you then end up with, is your bow there. So it's a really nice way of adding extras, but that really tone in, because now that tones in with her hair completely in the colour that I want if I didn't have that ribbon. So let's pop this card together now. Excuse me. Oh dear. So I've took myself a 6x6 inch blank card, and I've just got some black cardstock. That one's my dotty one, so let's pop that into place. And I quite liked the idea of having this really vibrant lady on the front and then having that background just done in black and white. I thought it looked really striking. So we've got our black cardstock, then we've got our man making sure that my card is the right way. And then we're going to literally layer this one up.
There's an interior designer called Timney Fowler, or it's 2 people, and all their stuff is black and white.
Oh, okay.
And very much they do lots of images of kind of Greek statues, but their wallpaper would basically look like that with all of this kind of stamped effect.
Oh, wow.
And back in the 80s, it was like their heyday. You all the places like expensive hotels, they would have this stuff. If you Google it, Timney Fowler, you will see very much this kind of look to it, super, super clean. really elegant look to it with all that black and white stamping. It's lovely.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it looks really effective, doesn't it? I think you've got to be quite brave to go for something like that, because it is a sort of a look that not everybody would like in their home, but it's actually fabulous, isn't it? And so all I'm going to do is put some foam pads down on here, and we're literally just going to use our bow to decorate, because the actual image does all the work. And you know, you can be colouring her any colour that you want to. If you want a pink lady, you could have a pink lady, couldn't you? You know, so there's no rules in colouring. So we're going to place that right in the centre.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Like so. And then literally, I'm just going to put a little bow on. So we're not doing a lot at all to this. Just want to find my glue. A little tiny piece on there. Don't need a lot, but we'll just place that at the side. And that's it. We're going to leave it at that. And there we go.
Oh, I love that.
So it's a little bit different, but it really does show off your colouring, doesn't it?
Really lovely. I mean, the colouring, you know, like you said about the whole process, you know, it looks a bit patchy when you first start, and as you start building it up, like you say, you just have to trust the process, and that is absolutely beautiful. Stephanie says, this is an amazing lesson, Debbie, thank you so much. Pat Kiernan says, sorry, Pat Temeris says, I just love watching Debbie. I've got a client called Pat Kiernan, I don't know why that popped in my head. She inspires me so much, and I'm always getting extremely excited that I have a designated area that I can do my crafts in. It's amazing what I'm finding. Helen says, that looks fantastic. It definitely improves as the colour evaporates.
Yeah.
And Stephanie says that is gorgeous. It really is inspiring watching how you're doing that. So these stamps that we were talking about here, these are the Sheena Mother Earth stamps. This one here, I wouldn't be able to tell you what they're called because I haven't written it on the back. But you can see you've got a globe, we've got your hands there, and you've also got sentiments in all of these as well. Lots of these with those beautiful images of various women with their flowers. Was that?
You Are My World. That one is Beauty and Grace.
Beauty and Grace. Then that one is Ethereal Woman.
Yeah.
I'm going to forget that one. And then finally this one is...
And that one is, beautiful one is... Have I got that? I haven't got that one. I haven't got that one.
Just as lovely as all the others is what we're going to call it.
Just as lovely as all the others.
Just as lovely as all the others. And of course you're going to be able to get these tricolour aqua markers. Look at the colours on there, that absolute richness, the vibrancy you're going to get in those colours. You get 27 colours and 9 different pens there. £52 or $67. Platinum price is £41.60 or $53.60. Lots of people are really enjoying the show today, and I think actually because it's so cold and horrible outside, lots of people are saying, what better way than to sit inside and watch a Colour Me Happy show? So I think everyone is being very inspired. Now the items that I've got in front of me are our like a starter kit in here. So you've got 2 sets of Classiques, you've got 12 markers in each of those. You've also got some of that Nina cardstock, and you've got some of those stamps and dies in there. So a really wonderful way of getting started. £35 or $50, £28 or $40 is a platinum price. So the paper or the cardstock that we've got here is that Nina cardstock, which we always talk about because it's perfect for using with the alcohol markers. And the stamps and dies that we've given you here, totally different to each other, but will give you that opportunity of creating a different kind of design. So this one here is that little gnome caravan. You've got the stamp in here to create that beautiful, almost like a toadstool kind of caravan, and then all of those different dies to cut out with all the embellishments as well. But if you want to do something a little bit different, so it's more cartoony, that one, you have got this Sheena Free Spirit, this one is, with the girl with the beautiful hair, so really showing how you can do the hair and the flowers, plus you're going to be getting all of those different sentiments in there, making this a great collection just to get started if this is what you want to do. Fantastic. Now we're going to be doing some more demonstrations in a few minutes. We are going to be talking about hair later on. So these ones that we're talking about here with those hair is going to be quite key. The next item we're going to be doing is the pens that I just put over here. Let me just go. Now these stack of pens, and it is a stack of pens because my goodness, you're getting an awful lot of your Classiques in here. Each one of these is a 6-pack, and as Debbie was explaining to us at the start of the show, you have 3 that work with cool colours and 3 that work with warm colours in here. So you know that you're basically going to be able to blend all, the first 3 and the last 3 together. So this first one is your greys. We then have turquoise, so I'm holding them slightly at an angle so you can properly see all the different colours you're getting in them. The next one is your browns. We have then got yellows, and you can really see that with the warm tones and the cool tones in that yellow one. Then we have blues, we have pinks, we have purples, we have dark skin, which you're just seeing being utilised in the last demo. And we've got shade and tone here with some kind of bluey grey colours in there. And then finally we've got the greens here. So you've actually got 60 pens in total. Because they're the Classiques, they've got the bullet nib and they've also got that chisel nib in there. But really great starter pack for an incredible price, £60 or $85. A platinum price is £48 or $68. And as we were saying, something like 85 pence per pen if you're a platinum member. So that is a really great way of building up your stash. And I think watching the show, if you've not bought Classiques and you've been on the fence, this is going to be the show that really does sort of cinch the deal, because being able to see how you can utilise them and the fact that you're getting so much ink in them, whereas with obviously the tri-blends you're only getting a small amount of ink in each one. Red Panda says, the Gnome Caravan was the first thing I ever coloured and card, and I had so much fun doing it. I bought it just because I liked it, because I thought it was going to be fun to colour, and I think actually it's a joy to colour. Crafty Angie says, Debbie, I love the way you've coloured this woman. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks really good. And what demo have you got for us next?
Right, something a little bit different with our alcohol markers now. So what I'm using, you asked about it, so I've got this isopropanol. It's just one that's off the website online. You can buy it from anywhere, but this is what you need. It's called isopropanol, and this has got 99.9% minimum of alcohol in it.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's just your alcohol solution. And it's a great way of meaning that we can colour lots of different things with our pens. Now, you can use your pens like you would our acrylic markers. So if you was to just apply, say that I've got a piece of acetate here, and I've just got one, this was out of our pack of vellum sentiments.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what you can do is just to do a normal background, you could do all those dots. If you was to dot everywhere onto your vellum or your acetates and add in purples, you could literally, that would then be permanent. Once that's dry, that would be absolutely permanent. And you could colour that all and create quite an effective background. But what you can also do is colour directly on. So if I was just to, I'm just going to colour over that. And literally, I'm not worrying about where this is going. I want to put a fair amount of pink. Now I've just used the bright pink out of my pinks, and I've used a blue out of our blue pack. And it is just a case of just putting it wherever you want it to go. And then adding your blue in, so we could do the same. So again, using that chisel nib, I'm just going in between, just popping that down. And it's just a case of, I know it looks really messy, and it's, you know, you're probably thinking, what on earth is she doing?
I'm thinking exactly that. And I know you said earlier you had a bit of a headache, and I'm wondering whether you've just got a little bit nuts.
Got a bit
so
nuts,
I can't see
right.
what you're going to do here.
So we've got that, and then I've got my marker here. So what I want to do with this one is literally just colour over the top. Like so. And I'm colouring onto the back of this, Becky.
Yeah.
So just colouring in. We're putting plenty down, and then we're going to use our pink as well. So that nice, vibrant pink. And I'm using these two colours because they blend beautifully to create a third. I mean, you can already see that one going into the blue is making a purple. So we're going to pop that down. You can do this however you want it to be. And then what I've done is I've used one of our spritzers, and I've put the isopropanol in here. Then what I do is I leave it in a little Ziploc bag so I know I don't spray that onto my water stuff, because you don't then want to start using it and putting water in. Now we get 3 in a bottle, so you can spare one of them. Use your isopropanol in there. And then all you would do with this one is, let's do the bigger one first. You're just going to spray over the top. So what's going to happen with this, because it's alcohol based, can you see it started to move all your amounts? Now you can either with a brush use it, or you can blow. I did have a straw at home and I haven't brought it with me. But if you blow, so if we...
Shall I go and get you a straw?
Well, it doesn't matter. I could just blow onto it. It's just very hard to see what I'm doing. But if you... blow it, and then I put it down in there, so you can see on there. Look at that. So you literally just keep blowing it around wherever you want it. Now, I don't want to use a paintbrush because it will stain your paintbrush as well, and then you can't use it for other things. But just blow it and move it about. You can then do exactly the same with this one as well. So doing it onto the back, and we're just going to spritz it. Now, this one's pretty cool because when you put it on, it actually creates, can you see, like little bauble effects in there? So it's really cool. So what it starts to do is separates everything. But if I start to blow that, put a bit more on, we'll start changing the colour. Sorry, James, I'm not doing very well with you and your camera wet. But look, we start getting these different amounts.
Look at that.
And then when we turn that over,
over
I took some of that off now. But you get all these different marbling effects behind it, which changes it. So it's a really cool way of being able to create something really different. But the acetate is really cool because then you just create it. Then what you need to do is use your heat tool and dry it, because that won't dry on its own now. The alcohol will take a while to absorb up. So you want to let it dry. Once you let it dry, let me pop that to the other side, bring in this piece here. So I've already done a bit on this one, so you can't really see it very well on there, but when you put it onto white cardstock, you can then see exactly the same. And then all I've done is I've added some red liner just around the edges. So we're going to stick this on because you're not going to see that, so I'm not worrying about a little bit of glue around my edges. If you wanted to, you could create a border or a frame or something like that, but I just wanted to make a really cool effect background using your pens, but almost sort of making them into that ink pad. Just checking which way is the way I've got the ink on. So we're just making sure that just goes over the top. That way then I know it's all going to stay inside there. And all I'm going to do is, using your scoring tool, you just want to make sure you burnish down. So it's just a case of burnishing that red liner tape all the way round, and then that gives you a really cool background to use. But I thought because we'd use those colours and we'd use that happy birthday, I've then torn my happy birthday, so I've got it here. So using those colours, just so you can see all this sort of speckled effect in the background, we'd pop this over the top just to make a really cool, funky coloured background. So all we're going to do is I'm going to place that in the middle, and then I'm just going to put this around the edges. So we're going to make a wrap for our card.
That looks so effective.
Like so. It's really cool, isn't it? And you would never think that was done with alcohol markers.
No.
So we're literally going to do it like that. I'm going to just add some tape down the side to secure that into place.
If you can't get a hold of that,
it's very, very easy to get hold of.
Can you use vodka?
So, no, it's not the same sort of alcohol. No, Becky. What you could use, you can use, now depending on the alcohol content, you could use your hand sanitizer.
Oh.
That will shift it, but not as much as isopropanol.
Okay.
So hand sanitizer does work. You can shift it about with that. You just won't get the same sort of techniques. So, but yeah, it's, I don't know. Someone might be able to let us know exactly what it was invented for. I don't really know. I'm assuming it's made to isopropanol, so it's
It's probably used for some kind of cleaning.
P-R-O-P-Y-L.
It's probably used for some kind of cleaning.
I think it probably is, and maybe it is put into
something.
hand sanitizer. So yeah. Oh, so it's an antiseptic, rubbing alcohol. Oh, there you go. It's in lots of things. So yeah, so it's widely available. So online. So yeah, you can get that. And then we're just literally going to put this onto a piece of black cardstock, and I've got a little black bow just to decorate. So we're keeping it again really simple because we've got this really striking coloured card, and we want to just have the full impact of that. So we're literally just going to pop that. Now, I love big borders at the moment, so I've got a nice big border around that one. We're keeping that nice and simple. I'm not even worrying that we've got all those torn edges. They look fabulous. And then again, just making sure that's going to adhere to our cardstock. And then I'm just going to literally put a little bow at the side there. So let's just grab a bit of glue. Actually, where should we have our bow? I think I'm going to
I just think that is such a clever way of doing a card. I love that idea of using.
I just wanted to show something a little bit different with our alcohol markers, because we sort of think about them being used in a way of colouring our images, but actually creating backgrounds and using them on your sentiments. I think it's a really nice way to do it.
Love it.
There we go.
Oh. I think that's my favourite one of the day, I have to say. That's really clever. Brilliant. Loads of people saying, well, wow, I'm so impressed. That comes from Susie. I think everyone, as all the messages that are coming through, everyone's saying that's really it's really very striking. We are going to give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, grab a quick drink, and we will see you back in a couple of moments.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people, and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Pokey tools and paper pads, gilding, wax and stamping mats, scissors, glitter, builder blocks, faux snow fabric, rocker blocks, briars, misters, quilting clips, and die brush tools, precision snips, finger daubers, acetates, stencils, glue guns and templates, Gemini Pro, Julia and the OG, Gemini Go, Mini and the MIDI, tri-blend brush pens, aqua pens and aqua blends, illustrators, classics and tri-blends and color blends and glitter pens and sparkle pens, outliner pens. Fine tip glue, applicators, envelopers, creators, stamping platforms, boxer boards, the big score and scoreboard, Nina card and craft card, glitter card, matte black card, graphics, wadding and adhesive sheets, glass mats, guillotines and pen trays, ball tool, dice and zinc trays, miter tools and binding tools and tote bags, USBs, bone folders and punches, low-tack tape, paint brushes, stamens, moundboard, flower forming foam, Outline markers, DVDs, spelled quick writing pads and CDs, gilding flakes and washi tape, tacky glue, red liner tape, craft asphalt, press sparkle pots, Centura, and sticky dots, pigment, ink pads, chunky glue, body bags, all-purpose glue, embossing folders, blending tools, storage folders, much more too. Water reactive ink pads, body bags, craft magnets, year of craft and glue, stick and spray and stick away, dotty tape and split pens, acrylic paint pens, tape pens, watercolor card, rotary cutters, magazines and stamping card, Ultimate Pro and the rotating design board, Ultimate First Compendium, Sarah Signature Collections, and don't forget Discovery Kits. Oh, and there's foam pads, think that's it. One final thing, foam on a roll. Foam on a roll.
Oh, we were all dancing to that. Actually, it was only me. I love that song. We do love it. I was doing a silly dance that was more like this.
Nicola's my favourite in that.
I like Sarah, she was a showgirl. I like that one. Yeah, that's my favourite. Right, I've got a few questions about that last demo that you did. So Laura says, may I have information about the sentiment you used?
The sentiment, I'm not sure if we've still got them. They were a vellum pad that was, they come with this, they were this size, literally. They were a vellum pad, and I think they come with they come with Florabunda. So I don't think we've got them anymore, so apologies. But we do have vellum inserts, so we might still have vellum inserts, and you'd be able to do exactly the same technique with those.
And if you wanted to use just a piece of vellum and you wanted to stamp a sentiment over the top of that?
Heat emboss.
Heat emboss, okay.
Yeah, heat emboss it and then do your alcohol over the top.
Right,
It will still act as a resist, so it will still shine through.
Fabulous, that's brilliant. And Rhonda was just querying how many colours there are in the Illustrator line.
There's 216 in total.
Brilliant.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you very much. Mary Beth says, I love this, Debbie. I think the backgrounds are fun to make. I have a stack of these just in case I need them, but mostly because I like playing.
Exactly.
That's a good way to be, I think. Right, we've got some other stamps for you. So these ones are your Natural Beauty collection. Now, these are absolutely perfect for practicing doing skin tones and also your hairstyles as well. They are beautiful stamps. You can see here from the samples that I've got here. This one is your Effortless Chic. Who can make their hair look like that? Not me. No, I couldn't. My hair just looks a mess all the time. Luscious Lux.
Your hair never looks a mess. It
does look a mess.
You've got fabulous hair.
No one sees just before the show goes live where I stand upside down.
Show them what you do. Go on, show them. That's what she does every time.
Oh, now I'm a bit dizzy. Oh. Even when I looked like a witch, I looked okay, did I? Yeah.
You have you're very lucky. You're very lucky.
My mum said, who asked you to do that? And I went, no one. It was one of my funniest things. I love that little shot when it really frightened everyone. And Christina in the cafe dropped her cakes because I made her jump with my laugh.
See, that's you. Look at all that hair on that image there.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Now I haven't got that much hair anymore. But this is your ethereal beauty.
Hardly got any, Becky.
I do have to put it back in a very tight bun before I go to bed. Otherwise, I look like I've been electrocuted. Does anyone remember The Cure? Robert Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, with big hair, that's what I look like. Tumbling waves of florals. Look at that one. That is absolutely beautiful. I'd love to see somebody doing something with one of those stamps, maybe this one in particular.
Oh, would you?
I would.
Surprising.
And these are at a great price because I thought it was just the price for one. But it's not. It's the price for all four.
No.
$7.99 or $9.95. That's an incredible deal.
That's amazing.
£6.39 is your platinum price. £6.39 or $7.96 for all four of those. Yeah, I'd love to see how this would come out. Do you think, Debbie, you might be able to do a demo with this one?
Oh, let me see. Oh, I can do one, yes.
Oh, good. Acting skills are on point.
That's shocking. I cannot believe the price of those. Grab those. What a gift to give to somebody. Pack of pens, you're sorted.
Yeah.
Right, I'm using the browns in the 6-pack. So I've got the browns, and again, we've got our warm and cool colours. I'm going to be using the warm tones. So I've got these beautiful earthy tones, which are going to be lovely for our hair. Now, the thing with hair colouring, and can I also add, these stamps were my idea. So when we have product development, we have to put ideas forward, and I gathered some pictures and sort of did a few bits of drawings to how I wanted them, just showing the backs of hairs and skin tones that we could practice, and these were what come out. So I didn't have they put their own. These aren't my images because I can't draw, but yeah, the idea was mine to put things through that we could practice on, because it was the one thing I really couldn't do. I found it really difficult to do hair and the tones and how you could get that light and shade in, and these are absolutely perfect for that. So if there's ever a stamp that you wanted to practice on, these are definitely them. And then once you get them, they create the most beautiful pictures that you can put on your cards for your friend. We've all got girlfriends that we love to send to, love their hair. Sarah's definitely one of them. She loves her hair, doesn't she? So I think there's something for always, but also maybe you've got a little dressing room and you could literally frame these, put them on the wall. So they are really lovely stamps. But let me show you how easy it is with just your 3 pens to get that light and shade in your image. So I'm going to start off with, so we've got number 7 and number 8 and number 9, and you can see they're very different in their colour tones, and this is where you'll see how clever they are and how they've been put together, because they work so well. So I'm going to start off with my TN7, and we're going to lay this down first as our shade. Now, the first thing about shading, and I should explain this, is where your shade comes from. So what you need to think about is where you think your light source is coming from. So if my light source is coming from over here, it means that the majority of her hair is going to be very light on this side. The darker side will be here. But because I want to colour this whole image, I want the lighter side to be shining almost directly in front. So you want it to sort of be coming down but in front of her hair. So I want this sort of almost like a halo, a silhouette in the middle here. So once you've worked out where that will be, that's your starting point. Right. Because otherwise you won't know where you're going with your light and shade. Your other light and shade source will come from, now if I use my darkest colour, will come from like under folds in her hair. So we know where this hair is folded in here, we're going to get darker elements in here. Under each fold, we know that there's going to be darker elements under here. So each one of these, because that's just common sense and natural that you would know where the hair's falling and folding, that's where your darker shades are going to be. But we want to concentrate on the lightest shades. So we're going to go literally around this area, because that is where, if we had light coming straight down onto the head, the back of the hair, it's going to be around that area and possibly over the top. So all I'm going to do is take this section here, and we're going to literally just put that lighter colour through that centre. Now I find it easier to do it this way than to do one section at a time, because you can go back over this to rework that or make it wetter. But what this does straight away is I know it's then going to give me that light shading. So we're just going to literally come over onto this piece. So that's going to give me, so this bit is my actual light source. So now it looks a dark colour, but it'll all become clear. So then I know I've got this beautiful light source coming through the middle. I can then start on my darker colours. So I've got my number 8, and then we're going to our number 9. So what I want to do now is I want to do what we call that flicking technique, because it's her hair. And that's where we start coming in and just flicking into the centre of there. But I'm not going directly into the centre. We just want to sort of move our ink, just flicking through. Now I would say practice this on just a scrap piece of paper, practice your flicking technique, and see how yours looks, because you don't want a heavy hand. You literally just want to do these flicks going through the hair, and you'll be thinking, well, this doesn't look good, you know, but you just have to literally trust that process. And then we're going to turn it round, because I always flick away from me. So I'm going to turn this round, and we're going to do exactly the same, but we're going to flick now into the centre from the opposite way. And it doesn't matter, you've got some bits that are longer than others. It's that same process that you're literally just flicking into. Now you can do it section by section, but I feel like doing it this way, you really get to sort of grips with exactly where that light source is going to be. And then
Well, I think that's the thing
around.
people worry about, isn't it? Where light comes from, where it bounces, where you get those shadows.
Absolutely. And then we can come in with our darkest one, which is our TN9, and then we can start going now into that darker one. So that will really start to blend those in. And I know that in this section here we can have like some extra longer pieces coming round, because that is where a hair is going to come fold in that middle section. And it really is a case that's it really. It is just a case of bringing that, tying those sections in. Just that bit there has got a little bit extra, so we can put some more darker shades in there. And then we can come in from the top then, just bringing in those sections. And then you would repeat that once you've done it, because that's your first section, so that we're all the time, what that's doing is evaporating. So the whole time that's evaporating, that's giving you that true colour. The other thing what these pens are really good for, it's quite a true colour for the pen nibs. It's not very often that you can get a true, because you know, it being plastic, you don't get a very good colour, but we've got it as close as we can to the true colour of the pen, which I think is really good. And the whole time I'm just doing those flicking motions, just making sure we cover over the top.
That looks so effective.
And it is really effective. It just takes a little bit of time to build up. And then you'll really see it when we start to bring the colour in again, it really starts to blend itself in. And there you go, you can see how that colour is really highlighting through that middle section. So we're going to come back in with that number 7 and literally go through that bit in the middle again. And that's going to really blend the colours that we've just flicked through together. And look how fabulous those 3 pens work. Just amazing, really amazing. And what I love about them is that they really are achievable. Everybody can do this. It really is just a little bit of practice, just using those flicks. It's the flicks take practice. I hadn't realised, I remember once when I was doing an alcohol marker show with Ben, and I think I just assumed everybody could just flick some ink through. And then when Ben was doing it, I realised that actually it does take a little bit of practice. And he eventually got there and did it. And it was really lovely to see, but it did make me realise that it isn't something that everyone can just pick up and do straight away. So it's a case of practicing. What I say is almost imagine that you're doing grass. And you're flicking your grass up, because when you do grass, you just want, it's those, like if you do it like this, that's the sort of thickness that you want. This is what you want to be creating, as if you're doing tufts of grass. So, and that way that will help with how your flicking motion goes. Because you don't want to go too heavy-handed. If you go too heavy, you're going to get thicker sort of ones, and you want to come to your coming off the page almost.
Beverly asks, would you put a scrap piece of paper into this?
Yeah, I've got a scrap piece.
I've got proof.
Yes. Sorry, I probably didn't make that clear. I normally do. So.
And that's just to stop it from seeping through onto
yes. So if I was just going to colour onto my glass mat, because I'm laying down quite a lot of colour, although it's not coming in, it could bounce back from my glass mat and then it would go into the edges. So just by having a scrap piece of paper underneath, you can, almost certainly avoid that. So literally just coming down. And that's all you do. It's really quite simple. And you can go in, add some more or less, but you can see that's really starting to blend beautifully together. Now, coming to your other sections, I've got a finished one, so I'm not going to go too heavily into it, but you then want to do the rest similar. Now, she's got lots of sort of tumbles and curves and everything going into there. So I would say, look at each section now, we still need, so I would say this bit here is still going to have that light source going through there. We're still going to have a little bit of light source like here, through these sections, just that little bit coming down. So look to see where you think the light would bounce off of her hair. On these sections, because the light's coming round, you want to then turn that around. So that's going the opposite way, because these sections are all curved in, but you still want to get that light source, and you still do exactly the same. So when you're using your pens, you're just flicking. Now I want to do this one, because the hair's turned in, I want to now flick that from a different direction.
Right.
And that's all you do to get that unique sort of light and shade. And it's what our Leanne always says, preserves your highlight. So it preserves that highlight in the middle. And then if I bring in my finished one, so you can see, done exactly the same.
Wow.
There. So you can see once that all starts to evaporate, you've then got all your extra features. And then I did make the mistake, because can you see here, I stopped my image there and then decided to cut it out of here and needed to elongate. But I'm not worried about that, because we're just going to pop this on a very quick card. The other thing I did, and I forgot, I made the flower up, but these flowers now, they haven't launched yet, and apologies, they were shown in first look. This is one of the flowers from Sarah's new floral creation, and I've actually coloured them in, the petals. I've literally, while it was flat, I just took the same colour from the yellow and coloured my flower. So we've now got a matching flower to our actual design. So right, let's put this into a card. I have used, I'm trying to think now, wildflower, that's what I got it out of. So I'm using my wildflower pad, and let's put this card together.
Lots of people, well, I say lots of people are saying these, it's not because people aren't talking, because Red Panda says, watching this is mesmerising, and Wanda said the chat has stopped. I think everyone in our group is mesmerised.
It does when you're colouring, doesn't it? It's really hard to say anything when people are colouring, because it's such a nice thing to watch. But you can see that's starting to lighten up now. Can you see it where it's evaporating and we're getting that light shade in there? Excuse me.
It really is so effective. How long, roughly, do you think it takes to colour one of those, you know, when you're those pieces? Because you've got lots of different elements in there.
So I would say this whole image took me about an hour.
Right.
Yeah. So not too long. I think when you get in the sort of swing of it, it just suddenly comes together.
Yeah.
And hair is a really good one to practice colouring in, but they're just, honestly, just the best stamps, especially for practicing. I can't stress enough, these are great ones to buy as gifts. I'm just so shocked at that price. Yeah. Such a really good price. So I'm just going to use my nesting dies. We're going to pop that in the middle. So just making really pretty card, and then I'm going to just decorate it with one flower, so I don't need much else, because again I didn't want it being lost, the actual design. So let's use I'll use these.
Looking forward to seeing those flowers.
Sorry?
When did those flowers launch? Did we say
so
Tuesday?
I think it's this week. I think it's our Sarah launching it this week. It's the Floral Elegance.
Tuesday.
Oh, it launched on Tuesday. We've got a whole week of launches then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I can actually see what's coming up, because it's on the other side of the studio, so I'm going to go and have a look at it.
It's beautiful.
Well, obviously not now, because... Should I go right now?
You could go right now, I'm still sticking.
It's
absolutely beautiful, and we showed a first look last week, and it's coming, this week. So, but the flowers are amazing. They're very, very lovely.
Oh my God, you're going to love it.
They've seen it. So you can see the first look. I think it was last Sunday, I think the first look with Corinne. So, yeah, it's really nice. And we've got these amazing flowers that roll up. So, And that's one of them, and they're really easy to do. So yeah, lovely designs. So let's pop that there. So that's our flowers, and then all I'm going to do is put my best wish. I've just got a little sentiment. I didn't think it needed very much, so we're just going to pop that just there. And there we go. I'm going to leave that at that. And there's our beautiful girl.
Gorgeous.
There we go.
That is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah, Deborah says just beautiful. Pat says, wow, beautiful. It really is gorgeous. And you too can make something as gorgeous as that.
Yes, definitely.
By using these stamps. So these are your natural beauty stamps. This is the one you've just seen Debbie using. This one is your tumbling head of tumbling waves and florals. It's written in pencil and the light bounces everywhere. That's what I'm using. And this one is your effortless chic. This next one here is your luscious looks. And then finally, this is your ethereal beauty, $7.99 or $9.95. Platinum price is £6.39 or $7.95. Susie says, can't wait to launch the wax seal kit with you, Debbie, on Thursday.
I know, it's very exciting. Who thought I would get excited about a new wax seal? I'm super excited, honestly. I've got some really cool demos to show you with it. I've just loved working with it. I love that I can work with a wax seal that's not going to give me palpitations.
I do like a wax seal. I missed out because we did have that big bundle, didn't we, with all the Christmas ones, and I missed out. I left it too late.
I did, yeah.
But forever, Debbie, you will be the wax seal queen, won't you? Do you not think? Do you not think? Right, we're going to go back to the Mother Earth collection because this is super popular. So in here, you're going to get a selection of stamps, but you're also going to be getting the colours in here. So you get tricolour aquas. You've got 9 different pens, which creates these 27 different colours. Now you can see these are super, super vibrant. You've got some fantastic colours in here, and these are absolutely ideal for working with these stamps. This first one I'm going to show you is your ethereal woman, because that's the only one I remember. So we've just seen this. This is absolutely beautiful. You can see all of those colours are going to work so well together. This next one is your... Is it called Namaste?
Namaste.
Namaste. Very nice. This next one is your Beauty and Grace. Isn't there not, that's a bit of a song, isn't it? Do you know what that's from? Have anyone watched Drop Dead Gorgeous? It's a 90s film about a beauty pageant with Kirstie Alley.
Oh, no.
And it had loads of well-known
no,
people.
I'll tell you what, I was just going to say, isn't that with Rick Mail? But that's Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, quite different. Around about the same time, though. And they do sing a song about beauty and grace. This next one here is your Free Spirit, which is the same one you get in the starter collection that we've got here. And then finally, this one here with that beautiful globe. This is You Are My World. Isn't that lovely? So all of those stamps and the pens, £52 or $67. The platinum price is £41.60 or $53.60. Loads of people loving what you've just made, Debbie. Deborah says, just beautiful. Rhonda says, lovely card. Audrey says, gorgeous card. And Rhonda says, Debbie, wax seal redemption. Susie says, I love the film Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah,
I like that as well.
It's very fun. I mean, it's a really old film now, isn't it? But it's so funny.
It is very
funny.
funny. Miss Rick Mail. He was.
Did you ever have an imaginary friend?
I still do.
Oh, okay.
So in times of sadness, I am the lead dancer for the Brian Rogers Connection on 321 Dusty Bin in my mind, and all of those people are my friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just daydreaming.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was little, I had an imaginary rabbit that lived in the airing cupboard. I can't remember his name, but I definitely had an imaginary rabbit, and I genuinely believed that I had a rabbit that lived in the airing cupboard. It wasn't like a cute bunny rabbit, it was like a big bunny with features.
A bit like Donnie Darko, kind of.
Yes, yeah, so he did talk.
Well, that's quite frightening and dark, Debbie, actually. You've made, please don't no one leave me with Debbie on my own. I'm a bit frightened.
He hasn't been around since my childhood, though.
Okay, that's all right. Whew, that's a relief. So, Debbie, are you going to do anything with the Mother Earth collection we've got
Certainly are. So we are switching it up a bit. I've done all my techniques with Classiques, so I hope you've really enjoyed them, and I hope you get some great ideas to use your pens with. But I thought, because we're using the Mother Earth stamp, they do come with the tricolours, and I love the tricolour pens. In fact, I need to get them out because they are amazing. I mean, you know, Sheena waxes lyrical about them. She absolutely loves them. This is where we come into watercolours, so slightly different now with our watercolour pens. So let's grab our ones out of here. Now, which ones did I use? The Rich Jewel. I've got to find now the pens that oh, there we go. Rich Jewel, that was one. And then I think we just used the Bud Green, and I used the Terracotta, which will be in that one. So we've got all our different pens in there. Now, the reason I want to use the Rich Jewels, this is a great one to use for your backgrounds. So being able to create beautiful backgrounds is super easy when you've got a watercolour pen. So we showed it with the alcohol pens where you can use your isopropanol, but with your aqua pens you can just literally use water. So all I'm going to do with this one is make quite a wet background. Now, there's lots of different ways of making a background. Just to make it very quick, I'm just literally going to go round my sides. Now, I always do that because I now know that that's where my paper size is. And I'm not going anywhere else, otherwise I'm just wasting my pens. Now, that's what I would say is quite a strong colour, so I'm going to do more of my other colours. So we're literally going to put these colours just into here, and then we're going to add some extra. So I'm going to put lots of this down in between. Squeaky, squeaky.
Is it a problem if you get the actual pen nib on the other colour?
No, not at all. No, not at all. It will soon come away. And then literally I'm just putting a little bit of this ink because that's quite a strong colour in the bits there. And then I'm going to just take, I didn't have one at hand, I always do this, there it is. Let me find one that's got water in it. If not, I might just have to fill up. Oh, I think that one's full. It is a full one. So this one is just water. We're literally going to spritz that, and I'm going to put lots down on there. I'm also going to spritz my card, and then we're just literally going to pick that up. So making it quite wet. So we're making a really, really wet background, so you can see it's really wet. Just going to pop that back in. I want to just continue putting the colour down, and it's pretty much washed into one colour. Don't worry about that. If it does that, all you want to do is dry it and then do it again and add some extra colours in on the top.
Okay.
When you've got it to that, we then want to use some salt. So I've just got some rock salt, so I'm literally going to sprinkle it on top.
Does it have to be rock salt? Could you use dishwasher salt?
You can use any salt, actually.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about dishwasher salt. I don't know about dishwasher
So I've done
salt.
silk screen painting, when you're actually painting on silk, and you use dishwasher salt for that. I think because it's in large pieces.
Right.
But you could use any salt, so you could use table
So you can
salt
use
as
any
well.
salt, because what salt does is it absorbs the water, so it takes it up, it zaps it up. So you'll notice that mine's a little bit pink.
Yeah.
Because I've just used the same salt.
Oh,
There's no
okay.
point in throwing your salt away. A lot of people use it with shaker cards as well. Let it dry out. You can use your coloured salt for your shaker cards. So don't waste your salt, and don't think you can only use it once.
I thought you were
want to-
posh and had pink salt at home.
Oh no, I don't have pink salt. They do pink
Yeah, they
salt.
do
Himalayan
pink
pink
salt.
salt, don't they? Now, what you want to do with that is you want to leave that to dry. So obviously that won't dry in this session, so I do have another one. So, but let me just clear this away. So I love this technique because you get something different every single time. So once you've done that, I'm going to just bring a piece in to pop on top, put that to the side, and just let that dry naturally. You don't want to heat that up and dry it because you won't get the same effect.
Right.
You need to let it dry, and it'll get to the stage where your salt will be almost attached to it, and you have to sort of scrub it off.
Oh, okay.
So let's pop that to the side and bring this one in. So this was the one I did at home. And when you take your salt away, you can see it leaves all these amazing little particles in there. But I've still got a little bit that I can still see that, but it doesn't matter. That's just, it's sort of almost embedded. Now I have used watercolor cardstock, so it means that it takes the water really well with the paint. But it gives an amazing effect. You can also do it with cling film if you wanted to. I had my salt in my cling film. But if you wanted to, you could just screw up your cling film, place that on top of your wet, and then leave that to dry. Okay. And then you'll get another different effect as well.
Lovely.
So that gives you one of the effects that you can do. Now, the next thing I want to do, I'm bringing in that, oh, excuse me, the ethereal stamp again. So let's bring her in. I'm going to do something totally different to what we've done before. So let me grab my rocker block, because we want to do some sort of quick stamping. I'm going to place her onto there and just bring in a piece of cardstock. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to paint directly onto our image. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this one. We've got one on here. Let's just place, I'm going to do her features. So just using one of the colours, which is, I'm using chestnut. So straight on to her features. We might just go over those once we've done her hair, just to moisten that one. Then we're going to come in, I'm going to go actually with red. So let's use that one in the middle. And then I also want to do some of the yellow. So let's do that round. And it doesn't matter that I'm mixing them. You're just going to get a really nice design. And then we'll do some of the purple on the ends. And I'm just using the back sort of, I'm laying my pen down and just going round the back. So we're not drawing directly on. So it's just a case coming round. And then I'm just going to literally go in just to do her features again, so we know that they'll go down. And then we're going to do the same as what we did with our water. We're going to spritz that a little bit. Now you don't want a lot of spritzing. I would say a waft. So literally have it, in fact, could you put it on me, James? Sorry. So it's quite about 12 inches, I would say. And then you want to just waft that over the top. You don't want to make that soaking wet. It just needs a waft of water, just to keep it moist. And then we can stamp straight down. So just going down, stamp down, just taking my time, making sure, rocking from heel to toe. And then when we come up, we get that beautiful imprint of the image. Now, what you can then do, you can dry it, you can leave it as it is. We are going to sort of paint directly into it. So I'm just bringing in my sparkle pen, just clear sparkle. And then you can start to actually, we've got some green on there. Let me just, let me find, there we go, scrap piece of paper. There, let's see, can you see on here? So someone's obviously used it to paint with green. All you're going to do is to get that off, is you just want to just use it until there's no more green. Just making sure, there we go. And then I'm going to use this to go around her features. So can you see, like by doing this, we can bring in some tone in her skin. And also just give her a lovely glittery face. So just coming around here. And we're actually using the ink that we toned her, which we stamped with, just to give her some colour. So just bringing that in. And then we can do the same with our flowers. So literally painting into the flowers. The other thing you can do is actually, where we're painting with the flowers, you can then go directly in. So we'll do that in a second. Just going to bring some of that colour in. And just paint. And this is a way of it making it look like you've hand painted rather than coloured an image in. So that's just...
That looks amazing already.
Yeah, it's just a really clever way of just sort of bringing colour into your images. So then what we can do is, if we want a little bit more colour, so let's have some of this, we want to bring some of this orange into her hair, and let's do a bit more of the pink as well. we're literally going to take it to the mat, and then we can paint directly from there into our image and then really get some colour going. So just around here. So don't be frightened to go back in with some extra colour. And it's a really nice way of doing some extras. And then let's do the pink. And it doesn't matter if you lose some of the image. You can dry it actually, Becky, and go back in with the same image. But we're just going to do a little bit there, just so I can show you. And then if I just bring in my finished one so we can get our card popped together, because I know we've got to get a vote going. If I bring this one in, once you finish, I've gone in with some extra on her lips, done her hair a bit more on there, but done exactly the same way. It means we've then got a background and a stamp set that we can use. So again, I've just used black cardstock. Black's a great base for any strong colours. It really grounds everything. It gives you that focal point. It makes everything pop out the page, which is nice. So we're literally just going to mat and layer this onto our cards. Like so. So that will give us our base. And then we can pop this one on. And I love doing different backgrounds because you get a different one every time, especially when you do a salt effect background. And depending on the salt particles you use, so you were saying about they're bigger in dishwasher, the smaller the particles, the less interference you get. The bigger the particles, the more they sap up that colour. So you get a difference every time. So I would have a play around with them and see how they come up. And then we're literally just going to do our last one. Pop that over to some black card. Let's use some foam pads for that one. And then that's going to go in the centre. Making sure all the time I'm opening it so I've not got an upside down card. So let's pop that right in the centre. So we've got all the colours from that one pen in her hair, and I've literally just got a bow to put on, and I've just done this in a purpley colour to tie in with her hair, and there we go.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
So another completely different one, but this time done with your watercolour pens and not your alcohol pens.
Wow, that's really impressive. Oh, I love all those techniques. Would you be able to get your makes together so
Absolutely,
we can do a vote, which is going to be nigh on impossible, I reckon, to choose which one is going to win. Eve B says, I do love the Sheena stamps. That is so pretty, really beautiful. Gosh, it seems like an age that you did that first one. I had forgotten about it as well, Nicola. Each time you do one, I'm like, yeah, that's my favourite. Yeah, that's my favourite. And then that's my favourite.
It is hard, isn't it? I do have a favourite. Number one, though, that was the one with our 3-colour blend. Then we've got number 2, which was our lady with the background as well. Then we've got number 3, which was our alcohol pens with our isopropanol. Number 4 was our hair design, and number 5 was our watercolours. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5.
How can you choose? It's like choosing your favourite child. It's always the dog. A quick recap to show you what's in this bundle. So this is the Mother Earth collection. So you're going to get those pens. These are tricolour aqua pens. You've seen how Debbie used those ones, using the ones here in the rich jewels colours for that particular demo. And then you've got your selection of stamps. Here, these are the one you've just seen being used. This one is Namaste. First one was Ethereal Beauty, Namaste. This one is, can't remember. This one is, don't tell me, Free Spirit. And then this one is You Are My World. Yeah, I can't remember what that one's called. Beauty and Grace. Why can I not remember that? £52 or $67. A platinum price is £41.60 or $53.60. Now today's been all about the Classiques, and we've obviously got an amazing deal on the Classiques. So amazing, I've put them underneath me. So I'm going, I keep tidying up. This is the thing. This is why I don't tidy up at home. Because there's no point. There's no point. Now, you must have been inspired to get your hands on some Classiques. You may have been lucky enough to get hold of a couple of Classiques where we've had some of those goodie bags for you to try out, but you want to grab these while you can because they are such a good deal. Each one of these boxes has 6 pens in it. 3 of them are in warm tones, 3 of them are in cooler tones, so they will blend together. But you've seen Debbie using them. You have a chisel nib and you have a bullet nib here. So this first one is your greys. You then have your greens. We then have your shade and tone. This next one is your pinks. So you can see all the colours are just at the top here in sort of groups of 2 groups of 3. Next one is your blues. We then have your yellows. We then have dark skin. And you've seen some demonstrations with those. And this one is your browns. We then go through to purples. You've got lovely shades of different purples in there. And then you go to the turquoise here. So 60 pens in total. Great for getting started on here. £60 or $85. The platinum price is £48 or $68 for all of these. And I think that represents a really great deal for you here. I've been astounded by the techniques that you've shown us today, Debbie, and they've been amazing. And it really does, every time I come in, I can't wait to go home and get all my paper craft stuff out. I haven't put any of the stuff away from the soft craft stuff that I got out, or even the paper craft stuff that I got out before Christmas. I know, such a messy crafter, but I think the best people are messy crafters as well. And of course, over here we do have this collection, which is our starter collection here. This has got everything you need to get started. That's why I've called it a starter collection. So you have got 2 packs of 12 Classiques. You can see those in the front. So you've got basically all, like the key colours to get yourself started with those. We've also put in some Nina cardstock in there, and the Nina cardstock is smoother than the multi-purpose cardstock, and it really works effortlessly with those alcohol markers. And in order to get you started on your colouring journey with the Classiques, we've also included a stamp and die set which has a gnome caravan and also the Flawless Beauty stamp. To show you what they look like a little bit clearer, I'm just going to show you here. So this is where we've got the little gnome caravan stamp and die set, and real kind of almost like a cartoony way of colouring this particular design. And then we go on the polar opposite with the Free Spirit, where you can see all those beautiful hair techniques that you've just been learning now, as well as some florals on here. The price for this is £35 or $50. Platinum, incredible. £28 or $40. And this is going to be an absolute key piece for someone that wants to get started with their Classiques, perhaps never started doing any kind of alcohol colouring. And of course, there is a myriad of information available on YouTube from us in previous shows where we take you through how to do all these colouring techniques as well. And obviously, you've watched the show today. I do have it was very close, the vote. Debbie, which one did you think won?
Well, I'd like, this is my favourite, number 2.
Number 2. Yes. I have to say, I think the last one's my favourite.
Oh, okay.
Neither of us were right. It was number 4.
Number 4?
Number 4.
Oh, the lady. Yes, the hair lady. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Well, the hair lady.
The hair lady.
As opposed to the many ladies without any hair. Now, we're going to pop that into vote for end of the show when we do our next show later on, because we've got Second Chance Sunday, and we've got some incredible deals on Second Chance Sunday, as always. And that's what you want to see. As always, live and interactive. So if you do have any questions later on when we're back on air in an hour's time, make sure you send those through because that's your opportunity to quiz Debbie. And Debbie likes to be quizzed. As we found out, Debbie has been on every single game show in existence, and we spent the last half an hour of our break watching Debbie on a game show with Rylan that happened a few years ago.
I can't believe you found it.
I know, I found it in no seconds at all. So yeah, you can always go and have a look for that yourself. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you in an hour's time. Take care. Bye-bye.